Michele A'Court and Jeremy Elwood last updated 11:50, May 25, 2018. It may still take a while for many of us to adjust to a post-plastic world. Opinion: husband and wife comedians and commentators Jeremy Elwood and Michele A'Court give their views. Jeremy Elwood: It's been quite remarkable to see how quickly New Zealand has turned its opinion on single-use plastics around. From a nation where every home had a kitchen drawer full of supermarket bags, went through drinking straws like they were trying to build a house against the big bad wolf, and generally assumed that plastic was fantastic, we've swung fully about to taking reusable bags to the shops and saying no to disposable drinking accessories. Well, we at least take our canvas bags to our cars. Remembering to take them out of the car and into the supermarket is the next step, but we're on track. And those straws, we still want something to drink through. So many cafes and bars are now providing metal, reusable options, which we as consumers are promptly, and predictably, stealing. Jeremy Elwood: Getting rid of them makes perfect sense, until you realize just how often we use them in our day-to-day lives. Read more. Jeremy Elwood. Jeremy Elwood. The message they're trying to get across is that you wouldn't steal the cutlery that came with your meal, perhaps ignoring the fact that if they provided really funky cutlery, that's precisely what people would do, at least at first. Perhaps an alternative is to treat straws the same way we treat those little glasses at wine festivals. Have one on a lanyard around your neck, and just pull it out when you need it. Who knows, it could even take on as a fashion statement, and if it did, it certainly wouldn't be the most bizarre personal accessory to be seen in a Wellington cafe. I'm all for getting rid of plastics, by the way. I've seen the images of polluted waterways, distraught sea animals, and even a bag being discovered at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest known spot in our oceans. So getting rid of them makes perfect sense, until you realize just how often we use them in our day-to-day lives, outside of their original purpose. Lining the bathroom bin with newspaper just isn't pretty, and disposing of nappies in a paper bag is just wrong, so when they do finally outlaw them completely, I can see a real opening for a black market around cleaning companies and early childhood centers. While we've made great headway, it may still take a while to adjust to a post-plastic world. I'll do my best, even if that means my car boot slowly fills with bags, my household rubbish makes a mess, and I have to remind myself every time I go out for a drink not to steal the cutlery. Michele A'Court: I often think the interesting question is not, do you steal, but what do you steal? On my desk, there is a small but heavy glass beer handle, stuffed full of pens. When I was very little, this was the thing I most liked to drink my milk in. My brother and I would vie for the privilege which, at mealtimes, went to whoever asked for it first with the most manners. According to legend, my dad had stolen it from a pub in his youth. Don't get me wrong, I don't come from a family of career criminals. We were given to think of it as an adolescent indiscretion from the 1940s, permitted in the same way a student might be forgiven one street sign or one traffic cone for their flat. The assumption is they'll grow up to be sober ratepayers, footing the bill for restocking council supplies. Swings and roundabouts. Yeah, they'll be paying for those, too. I often think the interesting question is not, do you steal, but what do you steal? There's a line somewhere, right? Hotel pens, paper and toiletries, yes, bathrobes and kettles. No, I always feel sad when a hotel's artwork is screwed to the wall and coat hangers are fixed to wardrobe railings. Enough people are clearly overstepping the mark to make nailing stuff down a thing. I swear the only thing stopping dinner guests from making off with one of the floral centerpieces, perishable, at the end of a corporate function is that they're too big to convey in a tiny evening bag. which could well be why the tiny evening bag was invented. For decades, we've been replacing high-cost reusable items, milkshake containers, linen napkins, coffee cups, drink bottles, shopping bags, with something low-cost and disposable. Now suddenly we are hitting reverse, and it will take a moment to recalibrate that line. Eventually, we will grasp that a straw has changed in status, crossing back over from, sure, take it with you, we were going to chuck it out anyway, to, what the hell makes you think you can put that in your handbag? Please wait by the counter while we also count our forks. You live, you learn. I gave up straws years ago. Picture a woman on stage, microphone in one hand, glass of water in the other, attempting to find the straw with her mouth and failing, like a blind groper chasing a sliver of algae in a heavy swell. Whatever that instills, it's not confidence. I've got the hang of reusable supermarket bags. The breakthrough was publicly punishing myself for forgetting them by making myself abandon my trolley to go retrieve them from the car boot. Those cattle stop things at the entrance are hell on your thighs when you exit. You only do that once, maybe twice. Your weekend.